It's been a week since I witnessed a small miracle in that the simplest fix is what repaired my Ferrari F355, this 1995 Spider 6-speed with 40,000 miles that I traded my NSX for plus 10 grand cash. I've been driving this thing around for a week now and just enjoying the hell out of it. I've used it pretty much every day I've been in town and used it for the morning school run and for my daily work errands in rain or shine and the evening milk run, which took an hour. I just can't stop driving this thing because this is by far the best car I've ever owned. I love so much about it, and every time I drive it, there's something new that I discover that I just love so much. And today I'm going to show you all the things that I love about this Ferrari 355. It's just, it's good. It's very good. So while I'm standing out here in my Hoopty Fleet headquarters, I have to talk about the styling. This thing is timeless. Unlike the Ferrari 348 and the Testarossa that came before this that look cool, but they just scream 80s, this thing is timeless. Like Halle Berry, it hasn't aged a day from 1995 to 2008. But it still has a few cool throwbacks like pop-up headlights, which hits my buttons. Oh, they don't work unless the key's on. I'm like Tom Selleck now. Yes. And I know a lot of you have commented on the wheels and how ugly they are, but I actually like them. If I was going to swap them out for anything, it would be the Challenge wheels, so it looks just like the car out of the Fast and the Furious. So I can say, more than you can afford, pal, and have the exact car, but really, I've been saying it all the time anyway. I just can't stop. I like the wheels. I know they're a little pimp my ride-ish of that era of the 90s and 2000s when everybody was throwing rims on everything, but they're not offensive to me, and it's not worth spending $6,000 to swap out for some Challenge wheels, so I'm just going to leave it alone. There's been a few other things that have been customized on this car that really bring it up to the next level, so I'm really happy with the mods it has right now, and I'm not going to do anything else crazy, so don't worry about that. So obviously I love the styling, but there are a lot of other cool things about this car, and we'll start under the hood before I get going on this thing. So the engine is glorious. Obviously it's a mid-engine V8 and it puts out something like 380 horsepower because they put in 5 valves per cylinder. That was a big deal at the time, and it bumped this thing up to like 380 horsepower, which compared to the 360, that's only 20 horsepower less, but way more than the Ferrari 348 that came before it that does feel kind of slow. Now it is a little dusty in here and could use a detail, but the car was actually really well taken care of. It's had all of the big issues done, like the valve guides and the exhaust headers, and it actually has a full exhaust setup with high flow cats and a Capristo exhaust. Capristo. Oh, it is amazing. It's like a $7,000 setup. Oh yeah. So the engine, really, really cool. The interior also has a lot of stuff that I like about it, but while I'm out here, I'm going to show you one part of this customized part. So we have the wheels, we have the Capristo exhaust, $7,000 exhaust system, and then we have a really crazy stereo setup. Check this out. Oh, mama. So somebody went totally crazy with the stereo system in this thing too back in the day, and they installed a Macintosh complete stereo system with the head unit, the amplifier, and some subwoofers right behind you. So as if the exhaust note wasn't enough, you have an incredible stereo to go with it, and I love that it's period correct and cool, and it just further adds to this kind of mild custom period thing going on with this car that makes me really happy. Really, really happy. The other thing that surprises me about this Ferrari is how solid and well built it feels. It's kind of like an old Mercedes. When you close things, there's a really nice clunk. Yeah. Clunk. Same with the doors. Once again, it's a huge door and it just closes with such a solid thud. I really was surprised how solid the car feels, but now I get to drive it. Oh. Oh. lot of people knock the 355 Spider for not having the perfect body flowing lines of a coupe, the Berlinetta, somebody tell me how to pronounce it, Berlinetta, Casa Bonita. I don't know, Doug. You're cringing right now. Whatever, however you pronounce it, I'm new to Ferrari world. But the coupe has the perfect lines, and the convertible, it kind of ruins it. But what the convertible has is a front row seat to the most beautiful noise on earth. This is got to be my favorite part of the car, is this exhaust note. It is by far the best exhaust note I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh my God. Revs to 8,500 RPM. 8,500. Oh boy, we're coming up on a tunnel. Holy Moses. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Wow. All right, enough about the noise. Obviously, there are plenty of other cool stuff about this Ferrari, and one thing that I like are the gauges. They're all simple needles, all analog. This car is still totally analog. There's no digital anything other than the aftermarket radio, of course, and it's all just simple white needled gauges, and everything's very easy to see and well laid out. And there's nothing confusing about this car at all. No technology or menus or anything to jump through to set the clock. And it does have a clock, and you just push one button to change the time. It's so easy. The gated shifter is another great thing about this car. It's all very metal and solid and just very manly for sure. The 360 that followed this car went from a big shift rod to a shift cables, a system of cables, so it doesn't feel nearly as good as this. The steering is perfect too. This is a great touring car, which is something that Ferrari and a lot of other manufacturers that go exotic have lost, because they want the car to be really, really fast around a track, because they're all super competitive, and that's all we care about in magazines nowadays, how fast cars go around the Nürburgring and other places, and they're just not comfortable anymore. And that pretty much sums up everything that I love about this Ferrari so far, and I keep discovering cool things as I go, so I may be making some additions. But my next video is going to be talking about the things that I don't like, and there are some things I don't like, believe it or not, and there are some things that are broken. Yeah, it's broken already, so stay tuned, guys, and thank you for watching. Oh, the horn! I love the horn!